All right, so I have my M&M's graph. This one's going to be, you're going to use the information that you gathered from the other days. So we're going to need to get out your packet from the previous day. And we're going to enter in the numbers. So this one is a much different look, but the reason why I wanted you guys to see this is just because you have smaller numbers doesn't mean your percentages become less, because you're still looking at 100% for your bag. So for my first one, I'm going to do my orange, then my brown, then my yellow, my green, my blue, and my red. Okay, so for these I have, sorry, that wasn't very helpful. I put my colors down below there. So now this isn't going to be a very high graph, and I am going to line it up and skip. So my orange was 3, so my orange is 3. My brown is 1. My yellow is 3. My green is 2. My blue is 4. And my red is 2. And I would take my time and color these in using my colored pencils, which I have not next to me right now, so I'll grab them in just a minute. But you need to make sure you fill them in so these are easy to see. And using the colors is the best part about graphs, because it lets the reader see those things very easily. Okay, range of colors. So we need our biggest amount, which was our 4. And we're going to subtract it from our littlest amount, which I had 4 blues and I had 1 brown. So I'm going to do 4 take away 1, which is going to give me my range. If you had 0, you would use a 0 there. And if you had 0, you would just put nothing. And that's important to show, because I'm wondering if everybody's going to have one of every color, if there's a way they figure that out. So my range is the big minus little, which gets me to 3. And it tells you that, big minus little right over here. So 3 is my range. Median, the number in the middle from least to greatest. So my least is 1. My second, I have 2 2s. So I actually have to make the 2 2s. And then I have 2 3s. So I'm going to do 3 and a 3, and then I have a 4. So how you do the median is you cross out a little and a big, a little and a big, and then you have your 2. So I'm going to put 2 and a 3. That's my median. Mode, the ones that show up the most. I have 2 that show up the most. I have a 2 and a 3. My average, so I'm going to add them all up, which we know there's a total of 15. And how many colors do I have? I have 6 colors, and I'm going to divide it by my 15. So 6 divided by 15, I'm going to use my calculator. Would be equals 0.40. Outlier. I don't have one because all of my numbers are really close. So an outlier would be if maybe this one had this many and this one had none. Those two would be outliers. But since they're all in the same kind of a boat, I have no outlier. Or I'm going to put none. All right. So now the last thing we have to do is we need to use our protractor to show. So I'm going to put my center point in. This is the center where we're going to start a radius. So the radius is the arm that goes out. So we're going to put our radius there. And it doesn't, right now, we're going to use this radius to input all of our information from our previous day, which would be these percentages. And I'm going to go in order. So my orange is 20%. So if I'm going to do 20%, so I don't know if you remember how we did this, but we'll go over this. So you're going to take 360. Okay. We're going to take 360, and we're going to multiply it by the decimal percent, which is 0.2. Or you can put 0.20, it doesn't matter. 72 degrees. So this first one I have is going to be 72 degrees. So actually, I'm going to just make a look quick. Orange equals 72, what? I said 72 under 0, 72 degrees. That means that my yellow is also 72 degrees because it's 20%. So that's for 20%. Now, my next one, I have two 13%. I have two, because 13% is for the twos. So the blue and the red, or sorry, the green is going to be 13%. And the red is going to be 13% as well. So I'm going to take my, how many degrees are in a circle? The whole thing is 360. So I'm going to take 360 times 0.13. That's the decimal form of that percentage. And that's going to get me to 46.8. And I'm going to round up to 47. So 47 degrees. Next, I have my blue, which is 4, which is so 27. So we're going to take 360 and multiply it by 0.27, which gets us to 97. So my blue, BL for blue, is a total of 27%. And that for the degrees is 97 degrees. And then my last one is brown, which is my least. And that's the 7%. But remember on this one, I have to make sure I put 0. So I'm going to put 360 times 0.07. Because that's how you show the percentage. You have to you're going to, again, we went the opposite way. You're going to take your decimal form and multiply that by 360, which gets us to 25 degrees. Now, if I add all these up, I should get close. So let's see. 72 plus 72 plus 47, 47 plus 97 plus 25 equals 360 degrees. So this equals a whole 360 degrees, which is in a circle. So now after I have that, I'm going to take my protractor. I have my center point. I have my first radius line that I'm going to have. And I'm going to put my protractor, remember this centerpiece goes right on top of that. And this line lines up with it. And then we're going to look for the number 72. So 72 is right here. I'm going to take my 72, I mark there, and I'm going to put my 72 here. So this part is 72 degrees. And I'm just going to mark that 72 degrees. And this one's for orange. And that represents 20%. Which makes sense because 25%, which would be a quarter, would be right there. So now I'm going to put my center there, and I now change my radius to go to this one. And I'm going to do another 72%, which is right here. And then I'm going to line that up and make another radius from the center out. And this is my other yellow, which is also 72 degrees for a total of 20%. Now I'm going to do my two 47 degrees for my green and my red. So again, put your center part there. So if I don't line this up, it won't be right. That line needs to be on overlapping that, and that center piece needs to be lined up. So now I need to go from this line, though. I almost did that wrong. And I need to go to 47. So here's 50. Oops, Kenzie. Sorry. 40. So 45 is in the middle, 46, 47. So right there. So I'm going to make my little mark, my little hash mark, and connect this again, 47 degrees for a total of my green being 13%. Same thing, line this up. 45, 46, 47. Make my hashtag mark, my hash mark. Line the center up with the radius, make another radius. Again, this one's 47 degrees, just like this one. And this is my red, which is the same as the green, 13%. Now, I'm going to make my biggest one because it'll be easier for me. I don't know, maybe not. It doesn't really matter. It's the next one on my list, so 97. So again, line up my line with that radius, center dot, and I want to do 97. So there's, oops, I'll bring this back down. Here's 90, 95 is in the middle, 90, oopsie, gosh, you just really can't move much on this thing. There you go, 97. So 95, 96, 97. So I'm going to make my little hashtag mark there, and I'm going to connect this. So this section, this is my biggest one, which is my blue, which was a total of 27%, or sorry, it's 27%, yeah. And the degree is 97 degrees. And that means this one, if I want to check, which I do just because I'm curious to see how close I was, I want this to be, so it says it's supposed to be 25 degrees. So if I line that up, that, I'm close. It's like 23. So I'm close. I'm just going to say 25 degrees. And then this is brown with 25, oops, with 7%. Almost messed that up. And then I would color this in. All right. Use your protractor.